Tim Curry's not only in it, he's bringing powerful sexual energy to that children's film.
Guys, I have really bad news.
We're going to watch Ferngully the Last Rainforest as like our next hangout.
No, I think my Audacity stopped recording.
Oh, no.
So,
nope.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
Good evening, morning, afternoon, sports fans. You might be wondering, why is Alex doing the intro? It's because I'm not DMing tonight. Instead, we are going to be doing what we have been referring to in chat as Brandon's Zany Adventure. And given that I will not be able to capture the pure, raw, zany energy, Brandon is going to be GMing this game. And I, along with our normal beloved cast of Alon, Joshua, and Chapman, will be attempting to ruin all of his hard work this time.
I love.
thank you for that introduction, but let me throw a little stick in your spokes there. There wasn't a whole lot of hard work that went into this because as I was writing it yesterday, since you didn't tell me until almost 10 o'clock last night that you would be happy if I DM'd, I wrote a lot of stuff that was just sort of pointing in a direction, and I was like, Alex will figure it out.
Bless you.
Which is generally
I love that
what
you have that much faith in me and that I immediately upended it.
No, it's fine. But, that's generally what I do when I'm writing an adventure for other people to run is it's laziness cloaked in the attitude of they're smart people. They'll figure it out. And they usually do.
I really love our cold open was Alex on the podcast that she runs and usually is the GM for, being like, I bet you're wondering why you're hearing my voice right now. And people being like, what podcast am I listening to?
But yeah, tonight's a substitute teacher night, and we will get through as much of this as we want to and see how unplanned it ended up being. But we've got a little bit of housekeeping to do first.
I love the idea that it's a zany adventure and we made zany characters and that it's just going to become the most serious podcast episode we've ever recorded in our young lives.
So serious. I'm never
Like Grave of the Fireflies anime, The Adventure.
Oh, God!
Yeah. All right. We got a little bit of housekeeping to do first before we get into this, and then I'm going to have everybody introduce their characters. So without context, I'm going to prompt you all for some stuff, and I just need you to give me a good, solid answer for it. Give me a named region.
Jehoshaphat.
All right. Give me a profession.
Miller.
Blacksmith.
I heard Is that Milner or
Miller.
It was Millsmith.
Okay. They make the mills.
Mm-hmm.
Are we about to whose line is it anyway this game?
More of a Mad Libs. Give me a place.
Boston.
All right.
Boston?
That works. Another place.
Fenway Park.
Person's name.
Michael.
Fred.
I heard Michael.
I heard Michael Ed. It's a hyphen.
Okay. Michael Ed.
Michael Ed Marie.
Okay. Josh, do you want to add a hyphen on that so everybody can have a hand in it?
Oh, Fred was me, so that is me adding a hyphen on that.
Okay, so I'm going to make it then Michael Ed Fred Marie. And I apologize that this list is medium-sized, but I wanted to make sure we had enough. All right, give me a body part, make it family-friendly or scientific, unless you're talking about genitals, in which case default to family-friendly.
Achilles tendon.
Weenus.
The weenus. Is that actually the medical name for that?
It sounds Latin enough.
The weenus?
Yeah.
What?
It's this.
Oh, we're talking about different things.
Yeah, it's the skin on your elbow.
I was like, somebody needs to go back to health class.
No, it's the part of your elbow that the skin on your elbow. Is that like
that sounds made up.
Okay, homeschool kid.
While you're looking that up, somebody give me a rare natural feature, like something you'd find in nature.
Yeah, weenus is a slang word for the excess or loose skin at the joint of one's elbow, which is technically referred to as olecranal skin.
All right, well, tell you what, weenuses are natural, so that's our natural feature.
It's believed to have originated from an Egyptian pharaoh named Weenus.
No, it is not.
And probably was accepted as a creative variation on something else, which was funny.
No.
Praise be to God King Weenis.
We did not have, like,
The Curse of the Tomb of Weenus would be a fantastic adventure.
loose
Oh, we
skin.
gotta write that.
Ugh. Give me a number between 8 and 88.
72.
Okay. Give me an accent.
French.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marriage.
An example of niche merchandise.
Nationals bobbleheads.
I was gonna do what do you call it? Like drink coasters with like novelty like stands.
Posters with stands?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, just delete it.
Roller coasters. That's what they are.
Hatsune Miku statues.
They're
No,
coasters
are they-
on wheels. They're called roller coasters.
Are you talking about like collectible coasters on like display stands?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That makes sense. A strange facial feature?
A horn.
Cleft
An
chin.
elbow.
An elbow.
It's a strange facial feature.
Go with horn. A perfectly appropriate pattern or design.
Paisley.
Paisley. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, just to make sure that you understand, that perfectly appropriate was in quotes.
You didn't quote it with your hand, so
Because I'm typing. Give me the name of a fictional bird.
shoot. Snoopy and whatever that bird's name is.
Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Wait, like do you want like a species or
Paul Woodstock.
A northern Woodstock.
there it is. Yeah, sure.
Northern Paul Woodstock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the call of the northern Woodstock is?
No.
It's like, oh it, oh it, oh it, oh it.
If there's a joke there, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I don't know. I was just making noises.
Okay.
I was just trying to give you the real call.
All right. What
Yeah.
What is the perk of a job?
Getting paid.
Okay. Highly specialized room.
Coffee room.
All right. We've got several of these. Another highly specialized room.
Butler's pantry.
Another one.
Cheese foyer.
Is it made
Ooh.
of cheese?
Whoa. Oh my god. Why would you say that about the cheese foyer?
I'm just asking.
It's the room before the room made of cheese. Duh. Oh
Mm.
my god.
Good God.
Almost done.
Couch storage.
Okay. 2 more of these.
The bandaged room.
I did hear a D at the end of that.
Yeah, bandaged room. Yeah.
All right. There's some contracting work going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Our final specialized room.
A spare sock repository?
Yeah. And depository.
Lee
Have
Harvey
a sock,
Oswald
leave a sock.
shot from the Texas Sock Depository.
Yeah. Take one, leave one, baby.
And then finally, give me a named region.
Cataphract.
Okay, so now I would like everybody to go around and introduce your one-shot characters that I'm sure you don't care anything about. And we'll start with Alex.
So I'm going to be playing Edna Whifflebottom, the halfling grandma wizard. Her prepared spells are only prepared in that she knits sigils as doilies and then just sort of yeets them and they turn into the spell. She's new to adventuring. She just kind of wants to do something fun now that her husband has passed and her children have left the nest. She's just looking for the new chapter in her life.
All right. With a name like Whifflebottom, she sounds like in her younger days, she might have had a saucy trading card.
She wore them wiffle-bottom jeans and the boots with the fur.
Excellent. All right, Alon.
I am Lazarus Valentine, a vampire of much age. I have great wisdom I share regularly.
I can tell I'm going to love listening to you talk.
Yeah, I've got the idiom generator up, and I'm gonna try to work one into every line I say.
Yes!
All right, Josh, what do you got for me?
Well, folks around these parts call me Waverly Greenhide. I'm a green dragonborn druid who's been known to spend a little time on the plains.
Do you fly first class or do you fly coach?
I exclusively fly coach. I ain't got no highfalutin first class money.
How good would it be? He's like, I fly first class and I rob coach.
Hey!
Damn it. So much better than what I said.
We'll just dub Alon's comment over top of yours. Chapman.
Hey, it's me, Ethan Hawkins. I'm a sorcerer, charlatan tiefling, and I'm a lawful evil.
Are all of us casters?
Oh, I'm getting the impression that this Ethan Hawkins is a.
Please, it's pronounced Ethan Hawkins.
I'm getting the impression that this Ethan Hawkins is a real character.
In fact, from this description I randomly generated, Ethan Hawkins is sly and devious, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. On top of that, Ethan Hawkins is also blunt, angry, and criminal. But they're not as prominent and counteracted by habits of being captivating as well.
Chapman, are these in different fonts, which is why you're aggressively changing your tone?
No, this is just how you pronounce Ethan Hawkins.
I am sincerely hoping that the name is written with brackets around it, as if to be filled in later.
Spoiler alerted. Hey, Waverly Greenhide, are you a caster?
Well, I'm a druid. That's a sort of like a caster, I guess.
This is beyond my wildest expectations. This is fantastic.
I reckon if all of us done get TPK'd, then that's just another successful outing for our gang, which I will now call the Bootstraps.
A cracked road leads to injury.
I'm writing down the bootstraps in case I have need to use it.
Oh, that's why I have a new hip. That happened to me once.
Okay. So let's say you all have been an adventuring party, or at least a group of people who tolerate each other enough to fight monsters once in a while for a couple of years now.
I'm not sure how we met.
Tell us
Caster
how we
Club.
met.
We met at the Casters Club.
The Casters Club. Okay, that works.
We thought it was like a professional thing, but it ended up just being like a nightclub.
I just want to meet new people, and it seemed like it was going to be a good social event. There was bowling.
I brought my fishing rod.
I thought that we were going to be admiring some high-quality office chairs.
All right, moving on. So the party receives a letter as you're recovering from your latest adventure. You've just finished battling a deadly miller, which made its lair deep within Boston, and you're now relaxing at Fenway Park. And you open the letter's delivered to you. You open it, and it says, "Friends, your services and reputation have been commended to me by a mutual acquaintance. Perhaps you remember them. Michael, Ed, Fred, Marie. Anyway, the TLDR is thus. Our recently happy village of Valleybrook is decidedly more recently unhappy. A large environmental engineering project is underway downriver from us, and it threatens the very survival of our bucolic hamlet. All entreaties to the builders are received only with lulls and rude gestures. We humbly ask for all the help you can give in saving our town. Details when you get here. Please hurry. Mayor Weenis."
Sounds like we're about to Fern Gully this rainforest.
It's been so long since I've seen Fern Gully. Was it just a company that was tearing down the forest in that?
Yeah, it was a logging company.
Okay.
I think it was like legit the rainforest too.
Yeah, it was legit a rainforest. It was being logged by a company, and then because they cut down a tree that had an evil spirit of smog and Tim Curry sealed into it, then you get this weirdly sexual smog song.
I don't remember this, but I'm about it.
I don't remember Tim Curry being in that, but I will.
He is in Fern Gully the rest. So is Robin Williams.
I think he was the embodiment of Bitcoin.
Okay. Are we done with the Fern Gully conversation, or do we need to continue that thread for a moment?
Please close it.
All right. So it's a few days' journey to the watercolor-esque environs of Valleybrook. Here in the mountains, you see creeks and ponds and springs living in harmony with all the happy trees and happy rocks. Snow crunches beneath your feet. The region's alpine altitude is responsible for all the snow, despite it being midsummer. As you crest a hill that straddles the border between a large hill and a slightly larger hill, you can gaze down and see the frosty tops of vaguely Tudor cottages and businesses. You have arrived at Valleybrook. Now, as I said, you're on sort of like a large hill near a slightly larger hill. So there's it's kind of a steep situation. So you're estimating the grade is something like 72 degrees.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's gonna take a little bit to get down there.
You are aware that I'm on my second hip, right?
I didn't know that when I was writing this, Miss Whifflebottom. And also blame who said 72.
We're just watching Miss Whifflebottom yell at the sky.
Shaking her cane that is also her arcane focus.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So how do y'all want to try and get down this hill? We'll start it out with like a nice, simple skill challenge that's almost a vertical descent.
So what I'm thinking is, obviously we're adventurers, so at least one of us is wearing a cloak. We put down the cloak, and Edna will sit on it and wait for someone to grab the ends of it and gently slide her down the hill.
At a 72 incline, I don't think she's going to be gently anything.
Yeah,
I don't. She'll be
just gonna
whizzing down the
toboggan
hill.
Down.
The runaway truck ramps aren't even going to help you there.
Yeah,
she's gonna go hit the other hill and catch air.
I have an idea, Brandon. If you will allow,
I'm sure I will.
I'd like to cast Entangle on the hill to create a series of roots, not that will grasp at us, but that will create sort of like footholds for us to use to go down.
Okay. Yeah, roll an Arcana.
All right. Oh no.
What did you get?
6?
6?
Yeah.
All right, just narrate for me how the casting of this spell goes. Don't presume an outcome, but just sort of tell me what your body is going through with such like all the effort and energy you're having to pour into this spell.
Well, yeah, the first thing I do is, as goes with any time I'm trying to cast Entangle, is I pull out my trusty vine whip lasso, and I wheel it around my head a few times, and then I try to throw it on out to where I'm attempting to entangle things, and we see how that turns out for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. You feel the energy sort of draining out of your body. It's going down through your feet into the very earth, and you can sort of sense it like ley lines as it goes, and you can see roots popping out here and again. Not really as many as you were expecting or hoping for. It seems like with a little bit of luck and no strong winds, you might be able to succeed on this, but it's just taken so much out of you. Roll a Constitution check.
I don't know what you want me to roll for Edna's SSX tricky toboggan ride.
We'll get there in just a second.
Beautiful.
That's a 7, and I'm not rolling this die anymore.
Okay. Take 1 level of exhaustion.
No!
I want Edna to do 2 rolls for me.
Mm-hmm.
I want a dexterity roll and...
Saving?
Yeah, let's go ahead and make it a saving throw. Okay. I wasn't going to be mean, but sure, let's make it a saving throw. And then also just roll like an intelligence check for me.
All right, so that dexterity check was a 7.
Mm-hmm.
So the intelligence check, I have a +7 in intelligence, but I rolled a 1. So...
well, that's fine.
If it's a saving throw, if it's just normal, it's a +4. But I crit failed no matter what.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was having you roll the intelligence check to see if you would just recognize the amount of sheer mortal danger that you were in. So you're just blissfully ignorant as...
I'm just gonna Mr. Magoo my way through this game.
Exactly. You should have given her a Jim Backus accent. That would have worked out. But so did somebody actually pull your cloak to launch you down?
Your girl just sack racing her way down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Roll me 1 more dex check on that as well.
What is this die? It's a 6.
Okay. All right, roll 1d6 and take that much damage. But you eventually make your way down to the bottom of the hill, just all bumped and bruised.
So delightfully, I only took 1 damage. I'm rolling low, but it's consistent.
You could have easily said roll wall.
You are now Edna bruised bottom. All right. So what's Sam the Eagle and Ethan Hawkins doing?
Sam the Hawkins.
Yeah, Lazarus Eagle Valentine.
Mm.
I'm climbing down the vines that were created, but I'm cutting them behind me so nobody can follow.
Your character class is asshole. Okay. All right. I'm gonna say you make it down fine, even though it's very treacherous. And I'm only saying that because you tried to do it in somewhat of a normal fashion, as opposed to other people who basically put themselves in a tractor tire and rolled themselves down the hill.
The cheat.
All right, Lazarus.
So this might be a great time to ask this question. My character sheet is completely randomly generated. I can do this again. The only reason I say that is because I would be dying from sunlight exposure, very quickly.
Maybe that's not how vampires work in this universe.
True. How do vampires? I'm fine re-rolling this whole thing. Just as it'll just one button.
You could just carry an umbrella.
The way I see it, we could do two things. We can do Twilight vampires,
right?
Or to make things real interesting, your character has a curse, and you have to re-roll your character sheet.
Oh yeah,
every little bit.
Okay, yeah. So I'm re-rolling every X amount of time.
Yeah.
So I start walking, and I'm just like, and just like bits of my flesh are just falling off me from the sun.
You molt.
Yeah, and I molt into a new caster still. But I have kept I'm keeping my race as an Aarakocra since I have Eagle as a middle name now that's been assigned to me.
Okay.
And since I am an Aarakocra, I'm going to just fly down this hill.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm just going to fly. And I go, and I say an idiom, of course, while I'm flying. I say, turning a town into a city.
Is there more than that?
That's literally what it gave me. Using a hamster to power a plane. I say as I look down at Edna Whifflebottom just hitting tons of rocks and doing some jumps, and Razel comes on the mic and is like, Garibaldi Alps.
I love that the whole idea of your character being a vampire, it was just kind of an afterthought of like, oh, what if this isn't at night or in a cave?
I know. I didn't even think about that until you were like, it's bright, like midday, even in the middle of summer, despite the snow. And as you were going through that, I was like, I'd be dead. So that's not going to be great.
No, that's fine.
The episode. I don't know. Yeah, I could also just die. And then
no, it's fine. I like this idea of your character at very inopportune moments molting into an entirely different character that has the same name and voice.
Great. You tell me at any point in time when I molt, and I will do so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This
is how phoenixes work in this world.
Yeah. I'm not an eagle. I'm a phoenix.
So, Alex, did you have something to add?
Sam the Phoenix.
That actually is pretty great. I want somebody to draw Sam the Eagle as a giant flaming phoenix. That would be awesome. So you're all, through various means and methods, have made it down the hill, from the stupidest ideas all the way up to the best ideas, which were just flying down there. So you can see maybe like 100 yards away. You can see the town sort of like lightly bustling, like it's not metropolitan bustling, but it's solid, rural West Virginia bustling. And you see people milling about doing their business and stuff like that. So, and you can read doing their business however you want to, because, it's vaguely medieval times. So, that lots of stuff happens out in the open. So, you all are free to approach the city and interact with the environment as you wish.
I approach the nearest person.
I'm going to...
Alex, what were you going to do?
No,
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Okay. All right. So the nearest person is, let's see. The nearest person is about, I don't know, like halfway between you and the town. It looks like they're minding some kind of garden that's out there. It looks like they're very hurriedly picking crops. Like it's like winter crops, like gourds and stuff like that. Looks like they're just in a huge hurry to get them all taken care of.
I fly and land from above them, like literally just right next to them. And I go, shadows of the past can become shadows of the present.
Do you do like a superhero landing, like on your fist, coming down super fast?
Yeah, of course. And I do it into a pumpkin.
Okay. So you destroy their crops. Okay. So you smash your hand into the pumpkin as you land. And what was your idiom again?
Shadows of the past can become shadows of the present.
I think I'm going to make a new rule for your character too, that when you want to cast a spell, you have to find an at least somewhat appropriate idiom to say.
Yeah. That's fair.
To trigger it.
Yeah.
The character looks back at like the gardener just like throws themselves back. And they look up at you terrified. They don't look like, like sort of Monty Python and the Holy Grail peasants with like dirt all over their faces and everything. It's, very, very clean looking, medieval folk. Maybe I would say technology on par somewhere with like the 1700s or something like that. But is, they look back up at you and they're just like, sacre bleu.
What ails you?
What are you talking about?
When comfort turns to discomfort, there is always a source.
Who are you?
I am...
You sound like Dexter after he gets stuck in omelette du fromage.
This is the best French accent I have. I blame the two of you that said French.
I am Lazarus Valentine, a ex-vampire.
It's actually a weirdly appropriate name if he's actually a phoenix.
Oh, that's true. Good job. You get an inspiration, Alex.
Oh, thank you.
So
I'll use it to re-roll some of these awful rolls I have.
The guy is just standing there, just like still like in a sort of a light phase of shock, looking at you. Like he's desperate for you to talk some sense.
If you had to label your 3 greatest fears, what would they be?
They would be in order of importance. The water, and the water.
Drinking the sea when you're thirsty.
Edna, very used to this kind of encounter, is going to kind of hobble up a little bit and be like, "Excuse me, young man."
So is Edna like meta playing now? She's very used to this kind of encounter as in a social encounter.
She's very used to Lazarus horrifying the local populace.
Oh, okay.
And given that she travels with Lazarus, who's clearly insane, an evil tiefling, and a cowboy dragonborn, she's kind of used to having to be the face.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I understand what you're saying now. So, okay.
Excuse me, young man. Perhaps you could help me.
Perhaps your friend is very confusing with his deep wisdom that he cannot stop spouting.
You can stop a clock, but time will tick on.
Oh, yes. She's going to, like, gently take his hand and sort of pat it affectionately. Oh, he is just the way he is. You mentioned something about the water.
Yes. I guess you're new to the area.
Oh, yes. I actually, I did such a wonderful speed down your lovely hill there. I think I hurt myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should have gone further down and taken the tramway.
Pardon?
I mean, it's a very steep hill. There is, we are an alpine town. It's almost by law that we have to have the tramway.
Did I hear you say you've got a funicular?
That is correct.
You watch your mouth, young man.
Funicular.
It's been such a long time since I set foot on a funicular. I reckon...
Language!
What?
Well, I tell you, we have really made a tourist attraction of our funicular. We have, there's entertainment in each car. There is a wet bar. We put the fun in funicular.
That does enough.
But you were asking me about the water. That is correct. Surely you have heard the news of the dam that is being built upstream.
No, this is news to us.
Oh, well, you must go speak to the mayor. I know he has reached out to several adventuring groups to try and solve this problem for us.
Pardon, several groups?
Well, you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket when it comes to an adventuring group. They might find a cave while they're on their way, stop and explore it, get killed. You have to, it's a quantity game, really.
I rolled a natural 18 for offend.
I
don't know what stat that will do for me, but I wanted you to know that I am that level of offended.
I am sorry you are offended by our mayor's practical way of thinking in this very dangerous world we have, full of monsters and world-ending threats.
Etiquette is etiquette, young man. I don't care if the sky is falling down or a lich is eating the children. There are manners to be considered.
You cannot worry yourself with manners in the face of ultimate aquatic destruction.
I assure you, yes, I can.
I would also like to lampshade for anybody listening that I'm fully aware that my French accent sounds like Triumph, the insult comic dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's immediately where I was going. Glue does not stick to everything.
That is true, Lazarus. Thank you for your contribution.
Well, if you're going to stick to anything, you need to stick to the mayor. He is the one that can give you the information you need.
Do you know where we could find the mayor?
I do. He is in the mayor's office.
Oh, well, that would make quite a deal of sense.
It's, go through the town, it's going to be laid out like probably most towns that you've seen. Lots of the normal shops and things like that. We also have a collectible coaster store. That's part of the tourist economy around here. They're all very local. They're bespoke for people who come in.
I very much love your town. It's very generic.
Indeed, we try to do some things to set it apart from the other generic fantasy towns in the area. We really want to become the hub for the tourists. That's why we have the funicular. We have the coasters where you can get your name and you can get your image sort of magically inscribed upon the coaster. It's very nice.
I'm certain the imminent drowning also does wonders for the tourism.
It would be better, indeed, if we were in a much lower elevation, because then we could talk about a natural lake that we could bring people to. As it stands, we will probably just be flooded and frozen.
Oh, dear. Well, speaking of glaciers, let's move on towards the mayor's office.
Anybody else have closing words for this guy?
No.
Ethan Hawkins has no closing words for this guy. But let's move to the mayor's office.
Okay. So as the generic French gardener said, as he was hurriedly getting his gourd crops, the town is largely familiar to anybody who's been in this kind of town before. You've got a sort of a cobbled main thoroughfare. There's a fountain in the center. It's lined with stores and residences and things. It goes back for maybe like 2 or 3 houses deep on either side of the road. It looks like there's sort of like a central square where they have festivals and get-togethers and things like that. There's a small hotel, which speaks to them trying to become sort of a center of tourism in the area. And indeed, there is a custom coaster store that is located right off of the central square next to a pretzel shop and a sausage shop.
I'm gonna go steal a sausage.
All right. Sure. Okay. The sausage shop is set up like, I don't know, kind of like a deli, except instead of a big display window, they've got, a little place where you can walk up and purchase stuff. And they've got stuff hanging like sort of Christmas Carol-esque. They've got meats hanging from that window, and you can just walk up and get stuff. There's a butcher that's working up there, and there are several folks over there trying to pick up their dinners and things like that. But you can clearly see in that place, along with like several other places in town, there's sort of a malaise about the town right now. You really are feeling a lot of tension and dread from folks. Tempers seem short, that kind of thing.
Is there anything that the sausage maker would clearly feel embarrassed or like a lack of confidence about?
I'm sure there is. Let me consult his character traits in the character trait generator. He is claustrophobic, and you can tell because he's just standing very close to the window, and the entire inside, if you look into his deli, there are no interior walls. It's a very open space, and you can see light coming down. He's clearly got a skylight at the top to help him feel less boxed in.
Open concept deli.
And his t-shirt that says small spaces suck doesn't hurt either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk up to him. What are you? Afraid of enclosed spaces?
Roll intimidation?
Are you afraid of enclosed spaces?
Yeah, roll intimidation on that guy.
Intimidation, what is this, guys? It's going to be a 14.
A 14? Okay. He is, your general menace and attitude has sent him aback just a little bit. And he's like, well, what is your problem?
I bet a loser like you who's afraid of enclosed spaces.
What the?
It's not going to be able to stop me from eating your sausage.
What the hell, man?
And I'm going to take one of his sausages, and then I'm going to minor illusion a very low ceiling.
Just 5 square foot of low ceiling over this guy.
What an asshole. It's like a drop. One tile of a drop ceiling is falling on him.
One drop ceiling tile.
Okay. He absolutely fails his role. So he looks up and he sees, like a white tile of drop ceiling falling down on him. He's like, oh! And he gets very much distracted by that for just a brief second.
Yeah. So I take a sausage and eat it.
I mean, are you just like Shaggy and Scooby just tossing it up in the air and swallowing the whole thing?
I like take it and twirl it in my fingers and like take a bite after bite as I twirl it.
All right, so the sausage maker comes to his senses, and he catches you twirling the sausage like a mustache and taking little bites out of it, and he grabs his butcher knife and runs out of the store after you. He's like, "You will not get the better of Klaus T. Phobic."
That's the good name.
Yeah, and so he's chasing after you with his knife really quick. He spectacularly fails a dexterity check, and he trips, and his butcher knife goes flying. Let me roll that. Everybody, roll me a dexterity saving throw. Actually, it can just be a check.
Either's the same for me. It's a 16.
16.
9.
What's the modifier again?
Dex.
Dex?
Yeah.
15.
15. Chapman?
That is an 8.
An 8. Well, lucky you. The knife flies towards you, and you're unable to get out of the way, and it grazes you right on the arm for 2 damage.
Oh, no. Your weenus.
I'm gonna rush towards the guy and try to pin him against the wall.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say to him, "What's going on in this town?" town.
He's like, oh, I mean, I'm sure you've heard about the dam.
The dam? Do I look like a loser who would have heard about the dam? A loser like you, who's afraid of enclosed spaces?
Look, just leave me alone and get the hell out of here. You just take the sausage. I don't even care. I have to start packing up anyway. But go talk to the mayor. He'll tell you all about what's going on in this village.
Too easy.
Why are you the way you are?
You bully.
You would never understand me.
I don't know. Well,
How do you guys hang out with them?
sometimes your grandson goes through a phase where he pretends he's a mall goth and listens to emo music and begins Naruto running through the halls. That's just where Ethan Hawkins is right now.
That's a very 2000 to 2005 reference.
God, it's almost like that was when I went through that phase, Brandon.
I mean, I was about.
Oh my god, you used to go and make fun of butchers and eat their sausages in front of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I didn't have any friends, so that's what I did.
Yeah, I was going to say a 90s reference because I remember being at the mall with the mall goths, but then you said Naruto.
Yeah, see, when the 90s had mall goths, the mall goths were kind of cool. When mall goths existed in my mall goth era, they all just hung out at Hot Topic and wore anime shirts.
Back in
You
my
nearly
mall
adopted
goth
the
era.
mall goths.
I was born in it.
Your Edna Whifflebottom voice is awfully close to Bane. You're like old Bane in the Batman Beyond movie.
We just call her Old Bay.
She's a crab.
Spicy.
You know,
But every once in a while, they go through a phase, and we're here to support them, aren't we?
Nope.
No one asked you, Lazarus.
you know what? I think it's reflective of what Lazarus was once saying about how there's many roads that lead down the path of redemption, but none of them will make you feel whole, except a good breakfast.
I'm waiting for you to get on a horse and catch fire and then be next to Nicolas Cage, who is also on fire. As you ride through the desert.
Smoking a Marlboro cigarette.
Yeah. Which is also on fire.
Yes.
Well, that is how they smoke.
So Klaus T. Phobic he's had it with you all, and he just goes back into the deli, and you can see him get out a couple of cardboard boxes and just start packing stuff up. He's like, I don't know what you're trying to do in this town, but if you knew what's best for you, you better get out of here before you get caught up in the same troubles as everybody else.
Trouble. I'm the one causing trouble.
You're like a children's book villain.
Yes, that is correct. You're the one causing trouble, and I don't have time for it because there are bigger things to worry about. For me to poop on.
Edna is going to start moving towards the mayor.
Yeah, you presume that the large building with a 2-story bell tower is the city office or the mayor's area.
It doesn't have a big light up 1960s diner sign that says mayor.
No, it doesn't.
Ugh.
But let's say there is a street sign that says government offices this way. But since there's only one street, it's an extravagance that, they had to pass a tax, a tax levy to pay for this. So it's the nicest sign in town. It's made of metal and everything. It looks like a blacksmith put it together.
All right. Are you guys with me, or am I going alone?
Oh, Waverly's been right alongside Edna most of the way. He was a little delayed getting down the hill as compares to Captain Tumbles, but other than that, he's been right alongside. Right alongside.
We now go and fight a lion with a stake.
I love Lazarus.
Are you saying that we're gonna bring these damn constructors exactly what they've been wanting the whole time?
Precisely.
Edna's gonna take her cane and start rapping it on the door.
Wicka, wicka.
A middle-aged woman walks past as you're doing that. She's like, "My dear, it is a public building. You can just go in."
Well, now, we didn't know if this was one of them there towns what has the mayor living inside town hall, where it's like a house and a public office in one, and then we ain't got no appointments or nothing, so we want to make sure we're being as polite as possible.
There's if you open the door, there's a sign that says, "Please seat yourself, mayor's office," and then it has an arrow.
Well, I reckon that's indicator enough. So Waverly opens the door and gets on the floor. And then everybody walks the dinosaur?
Mm-hmm. It's not a reference I was expecting today, but I'll take it. Yeah, so the it looks like a traditional government office. It looks like there is a reception desk, but nobody's manning it right now. There's a box, and it's full of life rafts, and there's a piece of paper on it that's taped to it that says, if you need a life raft, take one. If you have a life raft, leave one.
Imagine getting on a plane and seeing that.
Leave a raft, take a raft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like maybe there's just a few people who are milling about. They're carrying papers and things like that. They look like they're working. But by and large, it doesn't seem like it's an incredibly populated government office.
Edna's going to get up and move over. I'm assuming that there's like some kind of like central desk hub.
Yeah, sure. We can assume that.
Wonderful. She's going to take her cane and begin rapping it on the desk until someone appears.
I'm glad you guys didn't have to call like a customer service call center or something like that to get this problem solved. Everybody would hate you. All right.
Edna's the kind of person who just shouts into the AI bot while it's trying to figure out where to send you, so it just immediately connects you to a person.
Operator.
I think Edna's the kind of person who, when she's in a foreign country, just uses English loudly to try to communicate.
Yeah, it's basically like speaking another language.
All right, so you're just banging your cane on the...
I'm just banging the metal head of my cane on the top of the table, hoping someone eventually comes to stop me.
All right, so behind that table, there is a stairway that goes up to the second floor. You haven't seen anybody walking around the landing or anything up there, but you after a couple of minutes of just sort of solid banging down there, you're
a couple of minutes?
Yeah.
I don't want to work. I don't want to play. I just want to bang on my cane all day.
I mean, I think after like 10 seconds of banging and no one shows up, Waverly pulls out a harmonica and starts accompaniment.
And I pull out a jug.
The Bootstraps is our band name, too.
Like,
hell yeah.
Emmett Otter's Jug Band over here. It's like a Muppet Christmas.
You have any idea how hard it is to play a harmonica without lips?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
I've never removed my lips and tried.
You should get some fake lips that you can just stick on there, like a fake mustache.
Some flips.
just the part of the harmonica is a lip mount that's like on a slide on it.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. This is how you busk legit.
So after a few minutes of solid loud banging down there, eventually you see somebody coming down the hallway up on the second floor, and like it looks like they're adjusting their pants, buttoning them and everything, and just standing there like, what the hell is this racket?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for coming down. We need to speak with the mayor, please.
Oh, you have found the mayor, and he is very irritated at your noise making.
I don't think I've ever seen Ferngully.
Oh my god, can we legit have like a day where we hang out and watch Ferngully? Because that would be fun for me.
It's for the best, Chapman.
I've got time.is up and I've verified that I am still in fact recording.
Okay. All right. Who's editing this? Is Scott going to be doing this?
Scott will be editing this.
All right.
Sorry, Scott.
sorry, Scott.